The Wynton Marsalis Blood on the Fields record was the first project that I sat down to post. It had been recorded by Mark Wilder a year before. It was an epic piece by Wynton Marsalis, which eventually won him the first Pulitzer for jazz. And because contextually it had spoken elements, it had choir, it had a big band, it had quartet. It was a very through composed work. It spanned 3 CDs, of material. I mean, how many movements? It was, probably 16 movements or more. And with that came, that focus of continuity. That taught me a lot about it. That was probably the first big release my name is on. And like I said, it didn't start by recording it. I picked it up in post. A lot of digital editing. At the time, it was between 3348s. That was the Sony Dash machine before computers aided us. So, kind of a tedious process, to edit that much material. I got to where I am today by keeping the focus on the work, really music first, staying true to a particular, maybe discipline. You'd see probably more in my discography in jazz than anything else. But that the artists, after a time, you continue to work with them. You form personal relationships in the studio. And as time goes on, I'm still working with Wynton today, and I think that has as much to say about, more of the relationship, as the quality of work. A typical upward path for an engineer, let's say my vintage, happened in the same way that we started in studios. I know, there are fewer and more far between commercially now than there used to be. So, guys are able to forge sometimes a quicker path by making a relationship, with a producer or an artist, or they themselves are the producer, and networking, maybe than it used to be in the studio system. As in my years at Power Station, I was a low man on a totem pole after 4 years. Some of the guys had been assisting 8 years, learning their craft and proving themselves before they were able to engineer. So I think that, not having that sort of, farm team experience these days might get guys in the chair faster. They might be able to, hit a little earlier, on some things. But as far as, the genres of music, I think it matters that you've been doing it, a considerable length of time. I said my artists, in many cases, are my contemporaries, and sometimes I look around, I'm the oldest guy in the room.